And we're live. Hi everyone, this is amateurgamer, and I'll be returning to Beyond Our Reason cast. Now we're moving on to a 4v4 on the center command bar. And let's start on the right hand side. So for magenta, Hawk Weber, orange is Jzonk, yellow is iBox, red is Matthias 22. On the left hand side, Gambler 93 is purple, Cottonmouth is teal, green is Hans Peter, and Prunoop is blue. This is not a new map. This is the one where you get crazy amounts of energy from tidal generators, and these players are aware of it, so I would prefer both sides aware of it, otherwise it's just a pretty big advantage for one side. Anyways, I've seen 2v2s on this map. I don't think I've seen 4v4s on this map before. I've seen 3v3s, I think. 4v4s is definitely interesting because it definitely feels like resources will be a lot more spread thin. Okay. And it's also a lot harder to do raids. I actually feel like raids is not worthwhile. Like, maybe a bit of scouting early on. Unless you and your teammates coordinate together for a massive push early on and really catch your opponent off guard. That is definitely an option. Yeah, like almost taking out a commander. I mean, if they had a bit more and took out that commander, that would have been huge. Like, that would have slowed green so much. Slowed green down a lot. Red has already went for a pretty aggressive position. So the question is how... So red is alone, so if there are two players, 2v1, it might not work out for red as much. Interesting. Red is very ambitious if they think they can just build static defenses like this. Oh, I need to slow down because there's a lot of action. It's been a while. It's like my last couple games are like very one-sided. Why is Teal's commander getting caught out like that? Damn. These Rocketeers. Oh, red doesn't want to take extra damage on the commander if they could avoid it. So far, green is getting quite a bit of resources because I'm guessing orange is just throwing units in, which is not great. Oh, are we gonna see commander versus commander? Well, do you see all of these grunts? Honestly, if these grunts go in, like, spread out, that commander might be in a lot of trouble. Oh, you don't want to be too close when they detonate. Yeah, maybe I need to slow down. Yeah, right now red is... Wait, oh wait, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, orange is 1v2ing. What's magenta doing? Yeah, for orange, holding out against all of this is gonna be extremely tough. Magenta definitely needs to help. Because this early on, neither side have the sufficient resources to... I mean, if you could hold out your opponent so your ally can do what they need to do, that'd be amazing. And meanwhile, we are seeing a lot of skirmishing at the bottom. Now that magenta... What are they sending? Okay, they're sending grunts. Actually, sending the grunts in might not be a bad idea. They just need to, like, flank. Both of these commanders are kind of low, and if they take one of them out, the other one caught in explosion might not have long to fare. Is Teal backing off? So purple is building up. Wait, do they have radar or something? Oh wait, no, these are okay. These are maces. I see. Yeah, for the top side, it definitely feels like green has the advantage just with the units they have. Because essentially, oh, don't build a warden. Essentially, they're just feeding them either kills or just wrecks that they could get more metal from. So I can't say the top side is doing too well, but the bottom side is a slightly different story. Because the bottom side, so while static defenses aren't stellar, and in these kind of battles where they could help in certain aspects by giving you a bit of map control, because right now what we're seeing here is red and yellow are able to push forward because there's no static defenses here to kind of push them back. And the fact that, I mean, they had a... Wait. Was it here? But yeah, right now it seems like a mirrored matchup where the right hand side is winning the bottom and the left hand side is winning the top. Was a commander lost? Ooh. Yeah, the top hand side is... I mean, at this point it's kind of... If one side can hold the flank without collapsing and the other end can win, then things can be decided. But right now it definitely feels like... Yeah, it doesn't look good for the left hand side for the bottom side. And meanwhile, it definitely feels like they're making a slow and steady push. Don't tell me they're going for tier 2. Oh, they went for tier 2. Oh, that's why blue was largely absent. This will be really bad for the top hand side. But if this flank collapses, those hounds might not be enough. That's the thing, right? Like where does blue support? The top? It still takes time. Like hounds are great, but they take time to get the job done. And I don't know why blue is... Wait, that is blue, right? So blue's commander went to the south. Green... I don't know. Sending these guys in one by one against all of these units is a bad idea. Hounds definitely need the numbers. And it looks like orange have went for thugs, which seems to be a better option against them. I mean, that's the thing. They just need to hold because the bottom flank is collapsing. And there are options, right? For red and yellow, they can either push into the enemy base. Yeah, I definitely... Yeah, going for tier 2 is so ambitious. I definitely wouldn't. Especially given how close things were. I think if blue had not went for tier 2 and build units and support this flank better, this game probably would have been theirs because... I'm not sure. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't even think I could say 2020 because at this moment, yes, blue has some hounds, but they can only mass up the hounds so quickly. And currently they are taking damage. And the scariest thing is, are they going for tier 2 as well? Yes. This is what drives me nuts. Like, I mean, because I'm observer, okay? I'm not the player. But a lot of the times, tier 1 can do plenty. Especially in these matches where... I'm just surprised left hand side haven't lost any commanders. Oh, are you gonna try to take them out with you? They might be in range. I mean, that is a strategy, giving up one of your commanders so you can lessen the number of enemies in range. So that is an option. Wow, the top hand side is definitely a huge mess. Yeah, orange definitely doesn't want the commander there. But yeah, the top hand side had, like, the push has been held, which is actually nuts. And that's the other thing with hounds. How's their accuracy? Like, do they have a chance of doing friendly damage? I guess it's possible. See, yellow has the right idea. Yellow is like, I'm just gonna build units. I probably wouldn't go for ticks. They're just too squishy. Oh my god, are you stuck and you're gonna destroy a hound? I'm assuming they have a minimum range. Yeah, I definitely will go for hounds. They have a bit more health, so they wouldn't instantly get destroyed. And they're fast enough, and they're annoying enough that hounds are hating it. And yeah, like... And right now, with magenta and orange working together, green just can't fend them off together. Like, green has some momentum, but green was just never in a position. Because right now, teal is in a bad spot. Their economy doesn't look great. If you have +7 at this point, yeah, you're in a bad spot. Meanwhile, purple is bogged down and going for extreme greed, which might not pay off. Are you still building ticks? You should really build some pawns. You can actually get the job done here. Yeah, they have a lot of defenses here. I mean, red did go for tier 2. The economy isn't stellar. They're going for jaguars? Okay, going for monsters. But like, currently, with all the attention put here, right? This is why I said once one flank collapses, it put the side that's doing the pushing puts a lot of pressure on the other side. And that's what's happening. Like, how's blue's... Oh, blue's economy is in shambles. Because they're trying to build all of these units, but... They're trying to build all of these units, all of these buildings. They can't produce enough. And meanwhile, the enemy is making steady advances. Right? They have their missile trucks dealing with these static defenses. And yeah, they're not making as much progress, but given that red is already... Red hasn't upgraded any of their metal extractors. But I don't think they need it. And the top side has collapsed. Like, between magenta and orange. See, this is why you don't give up, right? Like, at one point, it looked really bad. It looked like they were losing a ton. They can't hold. But they changed the strategy. And I think that's how... I mean, that's how I would learn. I like, okay, don't do this if my opponent is doing that. So they went for thugs. They went for... One of them went for thugs. Went for grunts. Which is good because they have speed and they have some mid-distance units. And now that they all collapse here, the hounds are going to have a hard time. Because, like, if magenta is pushing, right? If you have a lot of grunts that are spread out, they're going to have a hard time targeting things down. And when you are forced into this situation where your opponent are just getting a bigger and bigger lead, economic lead, it's definitely really bad. Okay, so another commander went down. I think that might have been blue. Has teal given up? Yeah, I don't know what happened to teal. Green is... Green could have definitely had more economy going. But at this point, it's a little too late. In some ways, this map does make it for interesting, where you have two flanks, where if one of the flanks is going in your favor, you just need to hold the other. And that's what happened on the top. And by holding the top, pushing the bottom, the right hand side was eventually able to turn things around. And at this point, yeah, going for tier 2, I don't think it was worth it. I don't think blue was able to make use of the hounds. They were able to push through the top. They were able to hold back the bottom. Yeah, I feel like blue going for tier 2 was way too greedy. If blue had supported the top, I think the game would have been very different, because then it's like, right? Both sides control one flank. And then at that point, it's like, how do you... It would be interesting, because now it's a question of which side can essentially defeat the other one, because now bases for both sides will be exposed, right? Because one side controls the flank. So do you surround and encircle? It becomes a lot more mind games. I think that would have been more interesting, but we aren't going to see that. All we're going to see is a very decisive win on the bottom. It felt like 2v1.5, and then the top, which started as 2v2 but eventually became 1v2, and yeah, with enough time, the right hand side was just able to come back. With all of these fiends going in, damn. Yeah, that was a... Yeah, 3v3, 4v4, don't get too greedy. Left hand side, there were a lot of what ifs, things they could have done that didn't happen. But yeah, overall, looking at it, it could have been a very different game if the top flank went to the left hand side, bottom flank go to the right hand side. At that point, right, how do you play? Do you go to the enemy base? That would have been a more interesting game, but the right hand side was just better, right? They were able to hold the top. Like, the top never got... Like, if there was a middle line, they kind of got past it, but they never got any further. Meanwhile, red and yellow just steadily pushed, used momentum, and I think blue going for tier 2 really hurt them, because that means essentially they had 3v4, and as you can see in these kind of games, short one player puts you down a lot. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.